My name's Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition, and second company is the Exotic Collection. Right now, I am working on the front page of the Exotic Collection. This is the third company we're building. I'm just putting the basic platforms in before we go in and start uh, putting in the rest of it. But I got to build the platform first. And in between that, I am working on the Black Series site, which is almost nearly just about done with paperwork. That one right there alone. So if you saw me build and construct the first one, this one's going to be 10 times bigger than the other one because there's a ton of information that has to be on this site, and it's going to be a lot of work, which I'm excited about anyway because this site is going to allow me to think way outside the box. I can put anything in here I want because it is designed to be insane. So let me see. I'm not going to do the whole entire site on camera. I just wanted to document it to show you exactly how much work goes into building a website. This one I'm going to do it in big chunks where I'll finish a whole section off, then I'll come in and show that off, and then come back in and do that and so forth. But I'm not going to do it like I did the last time. Let me see. That was a lot of work. I think it's backgrounds. But I want to put something. Let me see. Something different for the header. I might do shapes. Let me see. Those are the numbers for the earthquake. We're going to do an earthquake with these. Colorful Abstract. Yeah, and I got some of these windows. We got way too many windows in here running. It just makes it confusing on where the freak I'm at in editing mode on this. See, the windows I had to go through to put this thing together. Here we go. We need to crop those windows. We're not using them. Oh, it's in black, isn't it? No, oh, it is in black. That's why we can't see it. Let's try that again. Still coming up in black. Let me see. Okay. Gotta cover that over. Come back in and hit that for white. And I should basically be able to change it to what I want it to be. Hey. 1.16, 1.6, 1.6. Let's see how that measures out right well on the blend. 1.6, 1.6. That's 1.6 coming in, 1.6 in, and then out. We have to get the measurements of how much that's going to be. Get that affect the trigger off just right. Let's see. Just wanted to preview. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Perfect. Perfect effect. I like it. All right, 1.6. 1.6 is on that one. So let's come out of here and let's put in, you can't find, your website's not gonna pull up, I haven't published it yet. All right, so this one is 1.6. This is 1.6. This is 1.6. Puff-in customization is 1.6. So that's a puff-in. All the experience I got from building the other site, I can add it to this site. So this site taught me a whole lot of information that I'm able to put in this site. We're going to be doing we're going to be shipping out your order today, so don't worry about that. We got that taken care of. Trying to get everything done and taken care of. Sorry about that. Just been burying a bit of paperwork, but everybody's taken care of. You're good to go. You'll be going out today, and I got to go to the bank, and I got to set the business account. Tomorrow's going to be Thanksgiving, so yeah. A lot of work, just getting some things done. I'm probably gonna be working on Thanksgiving, but I'm gonna be off camera getting some more paperwork finished up. I have to link my accounts to the new banking account. All right, so this is what we're gonna use for that right there. All right. We have this is shaded in. Let me see, what do we use for the second one? Into the T. There it is. That's what we do that one. Incorporate this a little bit smaller. We're going to work on there. That. Oh, forgot we got it. It's in black. It's in black. We won't be able to see that. Gotta edit that text. Bring this in white so we can see it. There we go. That'll fix the problem. There we go. Now we can see it. Now we can edit this. When I put their name in. Let's see, 1.6. So that's 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, which slow the rest of them down. All right, so we'll do this one, advanced ambient rejection, and that will be boom, 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 boom. All right, come on, we wrote the name down 1,000 times. That's not it. Paperwork. I got two companies here, so we can get our paperwork mixed up here. Here we go. This will be Exotic. Yeah. Exotic. Keep that one. I think I'm going to change out each color. Okay, add on here, colors are not in there. Well, what happened to the, I put the ad in there, okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'll make sure that went in. That one. Yeah, better. Those aren't exactly screaming colors. This. So when I'm working on paperwork for the other site, which is on this computer over here, I can work on this one. At least on this one, I took my time on the other site, but still had to have it done because I had a certain amount of time I wanted to be out of that place, and I needed to be in here to be set up for the paperwork of it all. Then I can move on to the next stage, because again, you know, it's no point in trying to explain this to people at the end of the day because they really don't know how to work business at the end of the day. So there's no point in trying to explain it to them. But there are steps to business. And they're thinking that me being here is supposed to be a complete failure on my behalf. No, being here gave me a chance, number one, to be with my family and to get a mountain of paperwork that needed to be done, which again, they truly don't understand. If anybody else has done business and you know what I'm talking about, you know about the mountain of paperwork you have to get done in order to prove that your company is a legitimate, real company. It's a lot of paperwork. Especially, I mean, online is a different story, but offline is a whole nother world, and you have to have the potential. You can't just, oh, look at this on camera. It's not enough. It's not enough in some places. You have to have that paperwork done. So me being here allows me to be able to get all that paperwork and to get some help with that paperwork to get it finished and get it completed. And sitting back and running their mouths about, oh, this and oh, that, and so on, so on. So now you watch, my company has an LLC attached to it. We've got tax documents to our site. We have tax ID, identification ID numbers attached to our site. Safety material data codes attached to our site. Soon to be trademark and all the other stuff we're going to need attached to our sites. But they don't understand business. So while you're sitting there pointing fingers at Mr. Bird to my, oh, he's doing this wrong and he's doing that wrong, you're watching my company come to life right in front of you. You watched us. We've been blessed to be able to have the products, test the products, display the products, market the products, build and construct a website, and then from there, next level, tons of paperwork. I sat there on camera and said, yeah, we got tons of paperwork to go through. You thinking that what I'm doing here is a setback? No, while I'm here, I'm working. Anywhere I landed, I'm working. So while I'm here, I was able to accomplish multiple applications for all different forms of licenses and stuff that we need. That now, next stage, I can go walk around going, here's my business card, so and so and so. All my papers are in order. We got our tax papers over here. We've got our LLCs over here, our trademarks here, our patent pendings, provisional patents, all that stuff is done. So I can move on to that next level. Because in order to move around to that next level out here, not online, out here, you better have paperwork to back your company. You can't just walk into a bank and say, oh, this place exists because it's on YouTube. That's not enough. You have to show it exists. It actually physically exists with Uncle Sam and everything else. So, and then while I'm here, I'm building another company. And this company is already set. The platform is already set. Over there on that table is a sample that's going out to a company that involves this business right here. And this is going to be involved in music, art, entertainment. This is what this technology is going to be engineered for. And they're going to beta test it and display it at shows and concerts where this product, this company is going to get a ton of publicity behind it. I can get on camera and I can back my products and I can show you where people at the end of the day are fakes and phonies. And then I can come on here and I can basically back my product on every level whatsoever. Whether it be the inside, the back of the house or the front of the house, I can back it up. That's why I sat there and said on camera, don't go out and try to do this. Don't copy me, and don't do the same thing by saying, oh, I'm gonna go get an LLC and so and so and so. That's worth that stuff is nothing. It's worth nothing for you. You gotta fix that other problem first. You have to back that your product actually works. It doesn't make a difference. You can have an LLC all day long. You can have taxes and all that stuff and all sorts of paperwork all over your company. You better make sure your stuff works. That's what you better make sure. You can fake it on YouTube, and you know, to a certain degree, but you can't fake it up here online. You can in the real world. And on YouTube, you really should be to fake it because all your demonstrations, you need more tests. There's not enough tests. Couldn't express that enough. Environments are too dark, and there's not enough tests on a product. If you want to tell me you work with a venue projector, then I want to see demonstrations on a venue projector. Not saying you worked on a venue projector, actual seeing videos on venue projectors, on massive screen size, because that does come up quite a bit. Came up a couple of times when we were talking to the apartment complex. They were asking us biggest screens we ever displayed on. Let me see, change this color to That's why when I sat there and told you, when I was looking at the website, I wasn't trying to be rude or nasty. It is what it is. The site, it doesn't have enough information on it. It's a dummy site. There's no information on it. The other one, his site, all the information in his, just about all the information in his site is fake. There is no such thing. Go to any form site alone, and ask them, can a screen be both two different versions of game? That doesn't even exist. Period. Either it's one or the other. You can't go in there and say, oh, it's an 8 and a 9. That doesn't work. They're just making stuff up as they go along. And then you're making stuff up and you can't even back up what you're making up. That's the problem. Somebody asked me some question. I know it was one of them. Asked me some question, and because their questions are absolute stupid. What was the dumb question they asked me? They asked me, it was something, I gotta look it up. It was a really dumb question. Oh my goodness. I can tell at the end of the day that they don't know, they have no idea what they're doing at all, period. So stab in the dark. I'll take that sky blue. It looks real nice. I'll take that right there. That's why I sat there and told you I wasn't being rude. When I looked at the site, I said, no, man, there should be so much information missing off the site. It's not even funny. And who in their right mind? Now, mine, when I paid off the site, I knew what I was buying. I was getting myself into, because I knew products at the end of the day. But still, you don't have to be an expert not to look at that site and tell that it's not done correctly. There's a ton of information missing. Go to anybody else's site and do a comparison. Like, gee whiz Louise, there's so much missing. The philosopher, which we call the philosopher, he's got stuff on his site where he's trying to make him sound like he knows stuff, but he doesn't know nothing. He wouldn't even know the instructions how to get out of a wet paper bag. He knows nothing about the field whatsoever. There's certain things, even when he sat there and try to make it like it's a new thing, something new, that motorized and manual projection screens don't use velvet borders. Oh, please, come on. You're old enough to know that, you should know that by now, that when you had screens at 1.1 using 35 millimeter, and that's way back when I was a kid, that there's never ever been a velvet border ever on a motorized screen or a manual screen. It wouldn't work. You jam the motor up, you jam everything up, because it'd be uneven. It'd be a couple inches here and a couple inches here. It would throw off the middle area to cause the screen to buckle in. It wouldn't work. So to come out there and say that the coating that you're using is very, very thin, like a skin, and that it's going to try to pump fear in the customer's head by saying that by using my coating, you're not going to damage your motorized projection screen like other screen paint products. Well, you bumped into the wrong person for that theory, because I got done motorized projection screens. As a matter of fact, we did a demonstration where I did a motorized projection screen that had like about 9 or 10 coats on it. That's not going to bubble the screen. It takes quite a lot. I've actually burnt out a motor on a motorized screen before. It takes quite a bit. It takes like 30 to 40 applications to do. It takes quite a lot. I've done one. But other than that, no. So, no. A bunch of lies on his site. And because someone questioned him about the product, his lies on his site, he became very upset and decided to say he was going to get an attorney. Well, my number's right there. You haven't called me yet. Still waiting. I'm going to tell you to your face. I'll tell you to on YouTube. I'll tell in front of my business peers that your site is mumbo jumbo, both of y'all. And they're jokes at the end of the day. You don't know what you're talking about. And the other one doesn't even have enough knowledge and information and experience to build a decent website with decent information, because he doesn't know anything about his own product. That's pretty bad. That's pretty sad. Y'all don't know what you're doing at all, period. I posted that. I posted that on a forum site. I posted the gain on that section on his whole website. The whole section, I posted it. And they're in there having a field day with it. They're gonna have, what in the first thing that came up, what the heck is 8 to 9? There is no 8 to 9. There never will be. It's either it's an 8 or a 9. You buy an Elite Darkstar 9, it has a 0.9. Daylight Screen has a 0.8. Doesn't say 0.8, 0.6. Doesn't say that. It's one or the other. Because he doesn't know. Then they put in a lux meter measurement calculation chart to make it sound like it's more professional. They go, if you're going to be at this lighting at 300 lux, you have to use 2,000 lumens. If you're going to be at 400 lux, you're going to have to be at this blah, 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 blah. No, you don't. That's bull crap. That's the dumb stuff they were doing when this stuff first started coming to light, is trying to make it sound so technical. You know, like you had to have this and you had to have that. That's where all that dumb ambient or ambient light rejection technology, not ambient light controlled environments came in when you had screens that had extremely difficult time maintaining in fully lit environments. They would use it as an excuse to say, well, you know, you would be able to optimize your viewing pleasure and be able to pick up a much more better color or contrast if you had it in an ambient light controlled environment. Wink, wink, wink. AKA, your screen can't see in a fully lit environment. That's what you're saying. That's what it means on our end. And then I see in all the which one? Ambient light controlled. Y'all use controlled a lot. We don't use control. I never use controlled environments. So, yeah, you just told somebody I want to turn your living room into a medieval dungeon. That's what you literally just stated. So we need, let me see. I like that, but that's 1.6. 1.6. This is 1.6. 1.6. Come out of 1.6. We're gonna bring this up. I want this to be a little bit. I don't know about the size yet. Give me this. That's a 1.6. So puff in at 1.6. We'll bring it up a little bit higher. Probably 1.7 would be perfect. That's 1.8 bird. 1.7. 1.7. 1.7. There we go. 1.7. 1.7. Let's try you now and see how you react. There we go. That's perfect. 1.7, 1.8, 1.9. Keep it up. We'll give it like those stair step when they hit. So this is the front page we're developing right now. It's interesting because the experience I got from building the other page, man, that page had so much. They did so many updates on their applications. It's insane. So now there I had a certain limit because I'm learning it as I'm going along in the Black series, but I'm having some fun with it. This one, whoo, man, these are the exotics. This is a paint I get to go way outside the box when I develop. This doesn't involve home theater. We don't have the same kind of testing we have to do in home theater. This is a whole different world. It's for visual effects, special effects, all that cool stuff. We get to dig into the box and bring out the monsters, the crazy, insane stuff. That's what this site's about. This is off the leash technology. Yeah. And you guys are sitting there worrying about our other products, and we're building stuff as we go along. As I told you before, pace yourself. Pace yourself. What's the size for this one too? The size for this one we should have at, let me see, I need another one here. I'm just working on the front page right now. We'll take this one. I'm gonna drop this one right here. Exotic. I'm gonna put collection right on this one. On this one. So our text, what's the text in here? I've got to get text in here somewhere. There it is. All right. Drop that in white so we can see it. Put it in black. And we need to go in. I need to grab we need to grab that design we had. There's the trend. I like the trend. Alright. And let's drop our size a little bit. What was our size on the other one? Size here was what on the edit for the text? 38. So it's 38 over here. So we should be over here at 38. We're on 44. 38 would be perfect. There we go. I gotta go pick myself up some freaking these glasses. You use them to keep you from I get migraines and I work on monitors all the time. So I gotta pick up these special glasses I use because, man. Let's see now. let's go to, I was talking about, I should have talked more on business cards. This is why we need to leave these people out of our conversations, because there's stuff in here I could teach people that the first time, if you're starting your own business, there's so much information I can give you. I have people will contact me, call me up and contact me on projects that they're working on to see how I can help them figure out their problems. And I do this all the time. Building stuff, putting stuff together, that's what comes with having experience and knowing what you're talking about when you do stuff instead of just faking it. But the business cards you're seeing here are business cards. These things are gorgeous. The reason why I went with the plastic cards, because presentation is everything. It costs a little more, it does. Never go with the cheap paper. Don't do that. So the cheap paper tells a lot about your it's a little money, but just spend the money. Trust me, it's worth to spend a little bit more money when it comes to your business card. But don't go cheap. Don't get cheap paper. Some people will take business cards and they'll print them out on regular paper and they'll cut them out. Don't do that. That makes your company look cheap. It does. It doesn't make you look like you're professional and you put the time into it. Spend a little money, get some heavyweight paper. Heavyweight paper is a nice sturdy card, and you want a card that a person's going to keep in their back pocket and show it off. That's advertising right there. Like I said, first time I got a plastic business card before, I was fascinated by it. I had it in my pocket all the time. Every time I show people, like, look at this card, man. It's the coolest card I've ever seen right here. There's your advertising. Because every time somebody picks up that card and looks at it, they look at your company. That's why presentation is everything. Same thing like your website. Make sure your website looks professional. At the end of the day, take the time, put the effort into it, make it look nice, because that represents your company. If your website looks crappy, it makes your product look crappy. So put the time into it. Don't rush it. Have some fun with it. Enjoy it. Take the knowledge. And on top of it, like I said, testing. I can't express how important testing is. You're going to need testing to build the site. All the knowledge that you're going to get from testing on learning about the product that you're engineering and designing will go into the site. That goes into your specification sheet. That goes into your summary. It goes into everything because you're testing your product. It's like you build something, you know nothing really, actually anything about it. How are you going to put literature on the website about what you just constructed and what you just designed if you don't know anything about it? Let me see. I'm going to go in. I'm going to change this out to, we have to have a keyboard up in the front. So we have, I got people right now that are starting their own businesses and they come to me and they want to know how to apply for this and how to do this. I got no problem with helping anybody out trying to get their company off the ground, showing the proper way how to do it. But I tell you, the first thing you're going to do, you got a product, you want to test it. I was like, if you're making food, you make food and you never taste it to see what it tastes like, but you're putting things in your description, it's scrumptious, it's a lovely taste, it's magic to the palate, stuff like that, and it tastes like crap because you don't even know what it tastes like because you've never tasted it. There you go. Just putting stuff on there to fake it as you go. Let me see. Lord, thank you, Jesus. And you're probably thinking like, well, what other designs have been done? They've been done a long time ago. Just never got around getting them finished, but they're already done. That's a done product. You've never got a chance to show them off. Let me see. That's why the metal robot, which again, people at the end of the day really don't understand. That's why I said it's best when it comes to us to just mind your business, because you're going to keep getting embarrassed every single time you step foot into one of our areas and you start running your mouth. You're going to get embarrassed because, again, I can't explain it. You don't know what you're talking about at all, period. So we built this metal man with, I haven't finished it yet. It's still a project, working project, but we built this metal man. And the other individual, I don't know what's wrong with it in the day, but really don't care, went in and bought a bunch of little Gundams and said, look, this is how you build a real robot. Okay. The machine that we built is an exhibit. It's designed. It has a special paint attached to it exotic technology that allows us to be able to map off that technology and to bring that robot to life as it pushes off the canvas. That's what's designed. It's a display piece that was being engineered for this showroom. That display piece will bring in thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars of money because it's what it's designed to do. You just purchased something that you can't get anything money from unless it has some time or it's an antique and down through time, maybe you'll get some money off it. But other than that, no. I mean, people just jump to conclusions and think they know everything. I'd say before you start going down that road, please just forget it. I don't care. I got work to do. I'm about to say fix your website. Let me see. This one is that's 1.6. So that's a puffin at 1.7, 1.7, 1.7. There we go. That's 1.7. That's down right there. And then I need what's the other one? Collection. Let's see. Notice that doesn't have any numbers in it. It won't. There's a reason why we took the numbers out. All right, another one's pretty easy. All right, we'll break these down. 1.6. I want to also change the color for this one. This is nice, but I want to change that color here. Here, grab me something. Let me see. I don't want so much of red. Get, blue on this one. This would be nice for blue on this side. Like kind of a 3D kind of design. And then on this side, we'll do a red on this side. Get that cool look to it. There we go. So kind of everything all blends in with that background we got going on at the same time. That's what we want that art to match that background a little bit. Got the blue just perfect. Does this one move? This one does move. Yeah, this one moves. All right, that's 1.7. 1.7. This would have to be 1.6 in order to hit right correctly. We'll do a 1.6. And happy Thanksgiving to you all out there. Happy Thanksgiving. Do 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 do. All right. Let's shrink this one a little bit. Let me see. Or we can drop this at the bottom here. Drop this at the bottom here. Take this. Get out of the way. Seriously. Out of the way. Bring it down here. I hate it when they put the captions up right in the middle of your work. We'll bring this here a little bit higher here. And bring this over here. So we need right there. I need this to set on the center. We might just enlarge these right here just a little bit. I'm not sure yet. I need that to fit perfectly. Let me see. We're a little bit off here and a little bit off here. So we need to bring this one out a little bit more so it sizes up nicely, and then bring this one in so it comes in just right to look like it's all one piece. Now at the bottom, we'll take this piece right here and bring it up and lock it in place there, and then we'll put a nice little expansion on it here and here. Here and here, that's what we'll do. Here and here. Here. I'm going to line this up so it's nice and even, Steven. Let me see. I was kind of upset about the Borderlands because I thought the Borderlands, the version what they're making was going to be like a shoot 'em up, but it's not. It's kind of a. I hate those versions, man. I had a couple of them that I bought that were like. I actually bought one that was like that. I hate that. That's why I never got into oh man, Mass Effect. I couldn't get into Mass Effect because that multi-word thing, I can't do it. I can't do it. That's not my thing. It wasn't for me. I couldn't get into it. GameCon something that was pretty amazing, but other than that, I couldn't get into the whole. Nah. Let me see. Let's go edit this. We're gonna change this out. Put our font the way we want our font. Put that font in there. That trim right there. Let's see. Let's change out. Oh, did that not? Oh, because we had it in black. That's why. All right. So let's go change up the color for this one. Put it in white for right now so we can see it. And now we can go and change what we want out of this. So we're gonna put in We need to put a center on that too. It'd be much better if that was hitting right in the center. Alright, so if we bring this down, that's 50. I need to bring that down where it's a little bit smaller here. And then we need to bring, should we expand this? I think we can expand this. Expand this just a little bit bigger. 38, we do 38, and that's going way off the line. We're out of the line. 38, 40 would be nice. That dropped out of the screen. That's going to be up here. Alright. 40 would be nice. Okay, get out of the way. Okay, it's been concerned about that. Man, really? Seriously? Oh man, voice has dropped. 40%. 40 is good. Alright, 40 is good. Take that at 40. 40. Give me this. Stop playing games. Sorry about that, people. Got a little choked up here for a minute. My goodness. Any water in here? Water's in another room. Okay, whatever. Alright, okay. We'll take this and this. We have this screen is down here. I don't know why that keeps bouncing down. I don't like why that keeps bouncing down. It's never good. Alright, that's perfect. Now we just line this up just right there. And let's go change some colors out in here. I think I'm just going to do this, and I'll leave this one here, but I'm going to change this color here. So that's what we'll do. We'll change the color right here on the paint. We just need this section right here. We'll change this out. Let's see. Put that into, I like that solid color. We'll take that right there. And we'll keep these in white right here, so that'll look kind of nice, have a nice effect to it. Now we got to come in here and we have to change this out. This is going to be 1.7. That is going to be a puff in at 1.8. I'll take 1.8 on that one. 1.8. There's 1.8. 1.85. We didn't wait. 1.8 precisely. We need. That's the thing about working with all the keyboards and stuff I'm using here is all gaming. The gaming mice are really freaking accurate as I don't know what. You know, they're really too accurate sometimes. All right, so let's come in here, take that out. I'm gonna rise this up just a little bit, so we got a little room in there. We don't have a conflict of programs or codes bouncing back and forth and conflicting with themselves. I don't want that crap. And let's bring this one up a little higher up. There, so it's finished. Our save should have kicked in already, but we're going to hit it again for the second save, and then we're going to do a preview on it. So what we want is we want that screen to come out in the back slowly, and the other letters to hit it as it's coming in. Boom! That's what we want. We want to see that background too. That's why we do something called a fade in. The fade in, if you slow it up enough, you'll be able to see the background effect at the same time as the screen is pushing in, and the letters will connect later on with it if we timed it right. So let's have a look. So there's the screen fading in and meeting up. Boom. There we go. That's what we want. I want the letters to come off the screen like they're in your face in 3D, and then boom, the screen meets up to it, and you see the background as the screen's coming in. That's the effect we're pulling off. So that's done. And that's the first stage of the new company. You got a chance to see it. All right, we'll come out of here and we'll publish it. So now you have access. You can see it. This is what we like to do on our sites. Mobile. I'm going to do a mobile, but I have to get to the mobiles. The only thing I like about it, once you do mobile right away, and I don't like that, but give me time to get to that. Because right now I'm already overwhelmed with what we're doing now. This is the mobile section to set up for your cell phones. But we'll get to that later on. Right now, we need to, my goodness. Those are me paying for my whatchamacallit, my, oh, by the way, when you do your website, buy your domain name. Buy it. I know it's a little bit, but buy it. It's like $30 for the domain name to own it, and then to basically register it to, the name you have to register to, which you have to register to. I'll figure it out. I'll tell you what it is. But that's going to cost you $38 or $40 altogether. So about $70 to basically buy the domain and register and all that stuff like that. So that you definitely, I like some of these colors right here. We might use some of these for the background shots in here. What do they got in here? Oh, this is beautiful. This is what I'm talking. This is what the exotic scream. This is what they do. This is what they scream. Let me see. Can we get some of these? And hey, I'm gonna get some of these right here. Yeah, we're gonna make sure they're copyrighted clean. We always do that. Make sure they're copyrighted clean. If you basically want stuff like this on your site, you don't want to tamper with anyone's copyrights. All you have to do is just put in copyright free, and it'll bring these up for you. Oh, so interesting. I got a contact from my attorney. The Black Series edition is owned by us now. We have the rights to it. Any companies out there using that name, you got to drop it as fast as possible, or we can file lawsuits against you. And we just found out, we found like 30 or 40 companies. I don't know why they didn't go in and basically tie that one in. I don't even know why, but they're using that name, and you can't use it because we own the rights to it now. Because we own the rights to it now, you have two options: remove or get sued. Those are your two options. That's it. We want your names off of our product as fast as possible. It belongs to us. I have no idea how in the world nobody went in and locked that one in, but they didn't. So now we own it. So we have an LLC attached to it. We have our copyrights attached to it. We got trademarks attached to it. It belongs to us. So they will be looking. We will be contacting those companies out there who are using that name. Remove it because it's ours. Some people will even try to have, we can even rent that name out. You know that? If I wanted to, I could rent it out, but we're not doing that. It's ours. It belongs to us. Now, we did Crystal Edge Technology screens. There is nobody out there named Crystal Edge Technology screens. But Black Series, there are some big companies that got names tied to that. I have no idea why you didn't go down there and lock that in. But that is ours now. And we got the document sitting right over there to show that it belongs to us. So, two options: remove it or get sued. Because when people look us up, I want us looking us up, not you. I remember one time, who was somebody saying something crazy? Bubblegum. Was it Bubblegum? I think it was something really weird that they were so, and they won too. They literally won the rights to it. But it was crazy. It was something really strange, like a name that people use every day that you would never even think, but they got the rights on it. So, yeah, you got to remove it. Oh, look at this. Yeah, we can do digital displays, all that. We have to just make sure it's all copyright free. We don't want to mess with anybody's stuff. Make sure we keep it nice and clean. There we go. This is all copyright free. Everything here is all free. You can use it. And some people just design this stuff so people can have stuff to use, which I think is pretty cool. Ooh, that looks hot. This kind of stuff we're going to have on the page. I got to actually download music, copyright free techno music, and all that stuff we're going to put in because we're going to be doing for digital displays. Oh, yeah. This is going to be sick. I mean, imagine being at a rave and you see our freaking screen sitting in the background with the system and visual effects blasting off in the background. Oh yeah, we're gonna design some crazy stuff. Remember, I can make my own glow in the dark paints too. I've done that on camera. I've showed people how to make glow in the dark paints, how to enhance them, how to make them. To basically, the glow in the dark paints they give you are crap. They're just crap. Unless you're gonna spend the money for the really expensive kind, but usually the paints that you get in those little containers are garbage. They are. They have a little bit, that's it. It takes a lot to generate it, but I can show you how to basically enhance some things where you can make them so heightened that, yeah, it only takes a little bit of light to get them to trigger. I'll show you how to do that. But we got our own designs that we're working on for our own form of advancement, heightened UV paints that can be used. And these things will trigger off to a projector. We can cause them to trigger off just like that. You don't even need black lights to get them to activate. So that's what we're working on next. Oh man, we're gonna have a ball with this site. This site's gonna be so much fun. Got a big old box of Captain Crunch. I put some Lucky Charms in there. We can have some fun with this site. I like the stuff that they have on there, but they don't have what this kind of stuff we're looking for. So for those of you wondering, what the heck are the exotics? Well, the exotics are different color screen paints. Actually, ambient light, we showed them off quite a few times in different ways, but it's an ambient light rejection screen paint that allows the artist to be able to paint a screen. Can you imagine you have this palette of paints that are all projection screen paints that will allow you to be able to paint an actual screen to your wall? And yes, we showed in demonstrations that we can have a screen that's red that can pick up a solid white level. That's how Heightner technology does that. Or it can be blue that has no tint of anything in it. We've done these demonstrations quite a few times. So that's what that is. And it also has some really crazy, interesting, invisible technology, which we're using for hologram and projector mapping and all this special visual effects that we're designing for that also too, for those applications. I like designing screen paints at the end of the day, but I like more than that is developing the real interesting part of projection. Oh, I forgot. We got to hook up the mapping equipment because I'm going to play with that today. I'm going to never get a chance to use that. I bought projector mapping technology over there and never really got a chance to harness and play with it that much. So I was constantly working on the other companies. But this one will give me a chance to take the time off while I'm here and learn to harness that and learn to practice and learn more about that technology because I'm going to need it. And the Metal Man, well, this is going to be integrated into him. Metal Man. Oh, look at this right here. That is beautiful. I think I should took some of these backgrounds from basically the one I have. The one I got is pretty nice. I like that one. All right, we're going to drop the entire site in jet black and push these images through it. That's what we need. I want this site to look kind of psychedelic. So freaking nice when we get done with it. Think of all the cool stuff. So each one of the products is going to have its own page. Its own page is going to talk about the background of the product. It's going to have a little cartoon strip explaining a little anime kind of design with it. The one I like is the Scarlet Samurai. That is going to be a beautiful. They're going to have the most interesting names attached to them. They're going to be like HM, 3 put out. No, none of that stuff. These are going to have interesting names attached to them. We got one called Thunder Shamrock. Yeah, I just sat there and said one time on camera, I sat there and said, I could literally make a screen paint with the most craziest name you could think of, and we can use that to take out anything we throw against it. And here we are. Imagine your screen being beat by a legendary unicorn. Yeah, I forgot. We got the dark legendary unicorn. We've got the unicorn. Yeah, we're going to develop unicorn. And unicorns actually, we're going to have some gamer paint, some paint on there, some screen paints on there. We're going to have some. Taco is actually a screen paint. The legendary unicorn is a screen paint. It's developed for girl gamers. We're going to have those on there. We're going to have a few things on there that you can use for actual projection. If you want to really hook up your gaming room on a whole nother level, yeah, that's what that's going to be on there. But Taco definitely has his own screen paint. I talked to a few people about Mr. Taco's paint, and Taco's paint is quite gorgeous. Taco's product, basically all proceeds from Taco's products goes to the SPCA for animal shelters. That's what his product is going for. We got some people on board for that to make sure they want to see that happen, his product. That's what we're doing. All proceeds from Golden Taco Supreme. All his proceeds from his products are going to SPCA to help out for the animal shelters. We got some beautiful stuff in here. All right, let me see. They dropped me and threw me out of here. They want me to do, that's the copyright information for copyrights. So it's this right here. That's some more for copyrights on this stuff right here. Yeah, this is what they want me on here in this one. Do we have to set this up now? Can I just, because I'm not even really working on it. We can skip this, but I don't want to skip. I can always go back to the mobile and do it. We don't have to worry about that. We can go to the mobile. They're gonna push me in this, man. All right, so option here, if you get this bounces up, because this will bounce up when you're doing a page, you're not forced into this. There's an option right here at the top. You see that? One's for your mobile, and the other one is for your desktop. It allows you to switch back and forth. So we'll come back to this later, and we'll just go to the desktop. We're going to switch back to desktop. There we go. Now we're back on desktop. So that's what that little icon up there is for, so you can switch back and forth. You don't, when you do the mobile version, you don't want to put a lot of the animation special effects into it because it slows up and drags the phone horribly. So you want to keep it short and sweet. Put a little bit in there, but not a lot, because the phone's not going to be able to process it all, and it's going to have issues. And you have people sitting there telling me I can't make the order because, you know, you got too much going on at the same time. Oh, we're going to be setting up today Apple Pay. So we're going to be setting up Apple Pay. We're going to be setting up more options to make payments through our site and other places. Like I said, when we have this available, when I get the storefront, I do want to do a kiosk setup where people can come in and tap it and pay from there. You know what I mean? So after coming from the bank and setting everything up, I'm going to go back into here and set up the Apple Pay and some other options on there to make it easier for people to make their payments. Let me see. We like this. Is pretty good. All right, this is good. I'll take all that. We'll save that. That's already been published to the site. We have something on here called a bookshop. What the heck is Bookline? This is something that came with it. We got the templates. Let's see. Let me go into my pages here and see what this is. We don't need this. We don't need this. We'll hide this because we can turn that into something else. I can convert that into something else, so we can hide that. We don't need that. In the shop for right now, we don't need the shop, so we can hide the shop because we need to work on that. There's no point in bringing that up. Let me see. Let's knock out everything else in black. Let's see, everything, all this is in black down here. We need to drop another section in there. Take us this section right here. Yeah, just give me the whole section, darn it. Now take that. There we go. Boom. And let's get rid of this right here because we don't need this. And let's change that background to something black. Let me see. Just need a basic black for right now. That's all we need. That's perfect. There we go. So we're going to start building our platform as we go along. That's what we want to do. Build the platform. What color is this? Okay, I was going to say, I know that's black. All right. That's right there. So that's gorgeous. That's absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. What do we want to do here? All right. This is fantastic. I don't want to touch any of this at all. We're going to put our summary explaining the page here down here, and then we're going to drop in some video players in there at the bottom. Let me see. Somebody's sending me a message. Okie dokie. Let's see. Let's go get some beautiful artwork. Hey? We want the copyright free. Everything here is copyright free. Yeah. Oh, I like that whatchamacall. That one I did like. I want to go back to this one real quick. Let me see. What's this one right here? That's freaking cool right there. What's this right here? No, it's a little too flashy and damn it. I want something settle. Settle crazy. Oh, the flowers. Flowers are gorgeous right there. What do we have on this one? Nice little slow wave. So yeah, so the pages are going to have their own identity attached to them. So if you go into where you see where it says Scarlet Samurai, I went into the page slices in half with the samurai sword. It opens up. We'll get that done. Trust me. I had to go in here and do some research on it. Figure that one out. Might have to rewrite some code. But anyway, so we're going to page slice open, and then you'll be to see the product. It's going to be cool. I definitely wanted the rain. What do you call it? Cherry blossoms. That's what we want. And my niece writes Japanese. You know, she actually speaks and writes in Japanese. So that's going to come in handy. Because I don't want to put something in there and insult somebody at the end of the day, or put something in there completely. I don't know what I'm doing at the end of the day. So she's going to take care of that part for me. It's going to be real fun. Even if you're not just coming here to buy anything, just to come here and interact and have fun with the page. That's what I want the page to be exciting. I noticed that when I was looking at under the Black Series, our page, the time that people spend on the page is lengthy. They're in there for a while, which is good. the more time they spend into the page, you know what I mean, the more time they get to look around and see this and see that. And that's why we want to make the page as interesting as possible, to, even if they're not just buying anything, they're just going to just look around and check out all the cool stuff we have in there. And that's what we want to do with this page also too. Put a lot of cool stuff in there you can check out. Let me see, what's this one right here? Oh, that looks absolutely breathtaking. I want this. I want to be free. Do 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 do. All right, we're gonna put this in a separate picture set up here. Put this in a new folder by itself. We're gonna call this the exotic art. Let me call it. I'll tell you something. Lord does things in some interesting ways. A lot of people don't understand this. He does some things in interesting ways. The house that I was living in, I was occupying at the time, beautiful house, like I said, people were very nice, very generous, very kind people at the end of the day. Got a chance to do a lot of beautiful stuff, to work and build and make some amazing stuff while I was there. But, you know, it's interesting how the Lord works. Some people don't, we'll explain it to you how amazing it works. Sometimes when things are not going your way, it's not because God is turning his back on you or he's forsaking you. It's because he's trying to protect you from something that could potentially, in the long run, hurt you pretty bad. And that's what he's doing. So when I was there, and I didn't tell a lot of people about this, my company started to slow down by a lot. I mean, extremely by a lot. At some point, it was slowing down so bad that I just wasn't getting anything in, the orders in. And if the company was continuing to make the money that it was, I would have been there a little longer. But there was a reason why I couldn't be there. And I couldn't figure out why. Why would the Lord take me, put me in this nice place, and, you know, I've got big backyard and all this stuff I have in here. Why would he take me out of this? You put me here. Why would you take me out of here? And why are you putting me here? Why? And just couldn't figure that out yet. Sometimes no matter how rough things get, just sometimes I know it's hard. It's really, really hard to do. Even if you had years of being a Christian, but it's really hard to do. You have to have that trust. You have to have that trust, because trust me, there's a much bigger picture that the Lord is trying to do for you. And don't fight it. I fought it a few times. And sometimes you got to be careful, because sometimes when God is putting you through those tribulations, you have to be careful, because, you know, the devil's sitting up there. The devil will sit right up there in heaven, like with Job. He'll sit right up in heaven and say, Lord, look at your servant down there. And take everything from him. And I bet you he'll curse your name. I bet you he'll turn his back on you. I bet you. And that's what the devil wants. I'm not cursing my Lord. I could be homeless out on the street with nothing, and I still want to praise his name. But the situation that I went through in the house, where I wanted to get out of there, I wanted to go. The Lord already showed me what he had planned for me, and I wanted to go. I wanted to leave. I was so depressed while I was there. And also, too, the house felt like my prison, because I couldn't leave. I was trapped there because the anxieties that I had that were in the house with me, I don't know what was going on, that I couldn't leave. I had never left my driveway since COVID. I left my driveway a few times for doctor visits and all that stuff, but the anxieties were killing me every day, that I couldn't do this and couldn't do that. But I like I said, I was blessed to be able to get there and work and get things done. But the other half of me wanted to see how the world was going. It kind of felt like while I was there that the world was passing me by and I was still there. I was developing my technology, doing my job, but it just felt like I was just stuck there. And for me to be able to leave that place and be able to, first thing I did when I was with my friends, family and friends came down, helped me pack everything up, everything in the truck. And the first thing we did was we walked over to a steak shop. Now, I was a little nervous at first, because I'm used to having a mask on 24/7. I took the mask and put it in my pocket. Lord said, just walk in. And that's what I did. I listened to what he said. I walked in, got some food, ate. The people in there with no mask on. Everybody was keeping their safety. You know what I mean? A lot of people weren't, you know, as you said before, everybody was being real respectful of other, but it just felt good to just sit there and go, oh my goodness, I'm in a steak shop having a steak sandwich. That enlightenment I had right there to be able to do that, to walk down to the street and go in and get a tasty cake or a pack of gum. And people have to understand that some people have a sickness called agoraphobic. They're trapped in their own house. They can't get out of it. But with that being said, the Lord already showed me what He had for me. And now, when things had slowed down, no more money was coming to the house. It was enough for us to be able to feed and eat and stuff like that and get things done. Yeah, that was definitely there. He'll make sure you have what you have. But it wasn't at the level that we're at where we were able to go in and boom, take care of this, take care of that. That wasn't there anymore at all, period. And I couldn't figure out why I was slowing things down like this. Why are you putting me through this? Why am I going through this? What have I done? Why am I going through this? And the Lord said, be patient and wait. I have something for you. So I waited. And so when they came back and they said that you have to go, first they said you can stay, and then they said you can go. But when they said I had to go, I was so happy. I was so happy. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna leave this place. I'm gonna be with my family. I got places waiting for me. I've already settled up. The minute they first told me that I had to leave, I already had things set up already. Lord had already started making plans for me already. The apartment complex, I have to go in December to go take a walk through that section to see what that's like for me. Coming down here to see my family, my mother, I haven't seen many, many, many years. And the freedom to be able to walk about and not being trapped in that house. And when they told me this, I was so happy. I was so happy I was going to be able to leave. And then they come back and tell me that I owe a little money and that I had to stay a little longer, and I went into depression. I was very sad when I was on camera. I wanted to go. You didn't notice, but behind camera, all my stuff was packed up. I never turned the camera around to show you, but all my stuff was packed up. I wanted to leave so badly. But I'm a man of my word. If I owe, I pay. So I was going to stay there until I paid up what I owed, and then I could leave and go and start my new life. But I was, like I said, I thought I was going to miss my due date, and I had appointments already set up to go see the new place, and I just wanted to go so badly. And then what happened was the Lord slowed things up even more, and I couldn't pay my rent. And when that happened, they came back and gave me 10 days. See how God is working, but I didn't see it. Gave me 10 days to leave. And I was like, oh, 10 days to leave? Oh my goodness. I was so happy. Called my family, hey, I got 10 days. I got to be out of here. You got me. So we got you. We got you. We're here for you. Came down, picked up truck, moved everything in. We got a carrier for Taco, which was pretty interesting because Taco is not used to being around other people. Now he's just running about the house around. He even got a dog over here he's playing around with. He is interesting. He got real comfortable, which is good. He needed to get out and get a little happy with that. So as all that went down, I'm pulling down my lights. And as I'm pulling down my lights, I see something that's very familiar. I found black mold. I found black mold all along the side of the wall in the kitchen where it's soaking damp all up in those corners. The last house I was in, I breathed in about 2 years of black mold with serious permanent lung damage. That stuff, anything added to it would have killed me. It's just interesting how sometimes you'll fight something at the end of the day because you think it's best for you when God already knows it's not best for you. It is time to go. He has something else for you. So, not only was I blessed to leave that place, but I was also, it was a blessing too. The Lord blessed us there. It was time for us to go. The stepping stone, He's not blessing anymore. That when I was able to leave that place, He had blessed me to build a whole nother company, test and get all that done. That's why you see me doing all this testing, get things done, building the website, constantly working, because I knew the Lord had a deadline for me to be out of there. I wasn't meant to be there anymore. The minute I dropped ship here, orders went through the roof. My orders went through the roof when I came down here. The minute I set up, we had orders coming in from, I'm not going to say how much. My orders came in like crazy. That's how I've been able to come in here and pay for all these documents and get this done and get that done and pay for this and pay for that. Yeah. Orders came in like crazy. The blessing just started flowing in. People started calling me up, taking interest in my company. At one point, when I was over there, no one was really contacting me at all. At all, period. Everything was shut down. He was closing the gates. But when I came here, I got people coming in from England, and people coming from other countries, and different all forms of projects. And this is why I'm doing all this paperwork to make sure everything is all good to go. So when I step up off that platform, I am good. Everything's locked in. But yeah, the blessings are coming in like crazy. The blessings are coming. God is blessing. And that's just why I feel sorry for people who figure they got me figured out. Oh, this happened to him and that happened to him. Let me explain something to you, naysayers, at the end of the day. The only person that can take off my plate is God. The only person at the end of the day that can cast me out in the street or have me destroyed is God, not you. And since I trust in my Lord, and since he is my protector at the end of the day, and I serve him, he is always going to make sure that I have a roof over the top of my head, food in my stomach, and my table shall be blessed. Because I put my trust in him and I serve him at the end of the day. So that just tells you right there. Now I'm sitting here. I got all my paperwork done. More paperwork than I usually get done. All that's done. Everything's finalized. The Lord will bless you with favoritism. And he will. People will favor you because you are a Christian. Not because they know you're Christian. Not because you say you're Christian. It's because God will let them know you are one of his own. His people. He will take care of you. I say that because at the end of the day, the naysayers think at the end of the day that they're destroying me and you're not doing anything to me at all, period. You can't take anything from me. You can sit there all day long and say my product's black paint and I'm a scammer and I'm stealing from people. You can do that all day long. You can't do anything to me. Only God has that capability to take from me and throw me in. He's not that type of Lord at the end of the day. So now I got to go in December because the people who got me sick in the first house going to court and they're being sued for millions of dollars for what they did to me. And it's I can't tell you how that went down. That was very interesting how the Lord worked that one out. But that was amazing how he worked it out. But yeah, they're gonna pay through the nose for what they did to Mr. Bird. But all that, I can leave all this behind and do nothing if I choose to. I can let all this go. And I don't need it. But from what I'm going to be receiving, but I like what I do for a living. I really enjoy what I do for a living. I love do screen paints. I like working with people in projects. I love when people come on and they talk about they got this project, they got this idea in their head. And I know what that's like, but they can't figure out how to do it. And I love working with people to get their ideas to come to life. I love it. So I'm taking the money I'm getting from that lawsuit and I'm pushing it into my company. That's what I'm going to be doing with it. So that way, at the end of the day, that the average Joe does not have to sit there and spend thousands and thousands of dollars or be fooled on fake demonstrations that products are working when they're not actually working at all. Should have put exact on that one. And that's the wonderful thing about Jesus. Sometimes you gotta listen. Gotta listen when he's telling you something. I wasn't listening at one point. Couldn't figure out why. And now the blessings have been flowing. Now it's more like, what are we doing next, Lord? And you go through that. That's one of the trial and tribulations you go through, because it teaches you how to have trust in God, more trust in God, put more faith in him. The best thing when you're going through trial and tribulations is try to doubt less as possible. I know it's going to be hard. It gets harder each time. But that's important because God is building you to be a stronger Christian with a Christian boot camp. That's what it is. But he's not going to, it may seem like he's forsaking you. It may seem like he's turning his back on you, but he's not. He's watching over you the entire time. It may not be, sometimes when I have a business deal, it can be a very big business deal, and say it falls through. Do I get upset over that? Nah, I really don't. Because God will always bless me for what I need. If I need it, if it was meant for me to have, then I will have it. If it's not, it's not. There must be a reason why he didn't allow it to go through. Must be something wrong there. God sees things that I will never, ever be to see. When I sit there at a business meeting, I see all these people smiling at me, and God can see which ones are the demons and which ones are the angels. I can't see that. That's why I put my trust in him. So, If he says if a business deal and I'm sitting there signing a contract and that guy's a devil and at that table and he's signing, the Lord's not going to allow it to go through. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work out. It's going to fall apart. He can't bless it. Let me see. We have here. Oh, we forgot the X on that one. That's what we did. We forgot the X on that one. All right, that's we like this one right here. I love this slow motion right here. There. Keep on getting a nice little folder started. Add stuff in there. Yeah. You bring your own when you do that kind of stuff, and I feel sorry for people who want to slander our work, but you bring your own destruction upon your own self. You do. You bring your own destruction upon your own self. If you are in the dark, you will come out in the light. People will see you for what you are. If I am what I'm supposed to be, then people will see me for what I am. God cannot bless my hand. God can give me nothing. But for some reason, our technology, not for some reason, because we're doing the right thing, our technology just continues to improve and advance. Which one? Some of them are really nice. I don't want to do a skip on here. I want it to be a continuous loop. It'd be pretty cool. That would be nice. On there, continue. I like this one right here. That looks freaking cool. That look cool on the ceiling design. Looking nice. What's this one right here? Ooh, man, that is really trippy. I like that, but it's really trippy. Let me see what we got here. Oh, that's beautiful. That's nice. Like I did that. A little creepy for me, but I like that. It's pretty cool. What do we got for this one? Ah, that's got a license on it. Can't touch that. Oh, I know this is gonna be trippy. Woo, yeah. I say things because I love my Lord. Takes care of me. Making sure we have everything we need. I can't believe we got all our majority of the paperwork done. Majority of the paperwork done. I love it. What time we got? I gotta get to the bank and get this rest of the stuff taken care of. So you guys get your orders and everything done and out the door. Oh, what's this? Nah, doesn't do anything. Ah. What about this one? Alright, that's slow postation. Oh, it's a little different little. It's, let me see. What do you do? Oh, apparently nothing. What about you? Definitely nothing. Alright, let me see. I'm gonna take this one. Number, I guess the copyright says it has to be copyright free. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need. Oh, that looks really nice. I like that one. Definitely taking this one. Oh, it's nice. I like that one too. It's very cool. Abstract bag art. Ooh, yeah. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. These are nice. These are real nice. These we can't use. Definitely can't use these. Let me see what they have for Cherry Blossoms Live Animation Wallpaper. Didn't get any of that part. Got some of it, but not all of it. How far was that from the microphone? Apparently not that far. Mic is right there. Let's try that one again. Cherry Blossom Animation Wallpaper Live. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I like this one right here. This one is really freaking beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful right there. That is really not there. Come back here. Where is it at? This one right here is gorgeous. That is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous for a background setup. Red Scarlet Samurai. That is gorgeous. I'm going to bring over some of my software. I like that one right there. Did I get I should just put that much on instead. Add it a little bit more easier. There we go. Give me this right here. I'll take that. I think now, since I've gotten over the whole, anxiety to being trapped with COVID, I am going to take some of that settlement money. I'm going to do some traveling. I'm going to Japan to see the cherry blossoms. I'm taking a few people. I got a few people are going to be going with me on entourage. No, we're not having entourage. I got a few people going with me. But yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some dope with the traveling. All right, we're going to Japan first. And then we're going to UK. I want to go to Australia. And a few different places we want to go to. What we have for time on here? Oh yeah, anytime I do websites, I'm always crazy for time. I'm just looking at some stuff here. Let me see. All right, tell me an idea, some things I might put in there. All right, I think what I'm gonna do. Let me see. No, I'll just yeah, I'll take that whole section for that. Put that in there. No, but I want to shrink the image. I do want a nice background, black background. So let me see. Let me just finish up this one page here, this whole section. I'm not gonna do the whole page. I'm just laying a foundation down for the page. That's what we're doing right now. Just laying some foundation down for the page. That's what we're doing. Put the foundation in. So just get an idea of what they got over here. I like all that right there. Let me see. I think I'm gonna go back over to where we at on this was on the page I'm working on. That's not it. That's not it. Here we go. This is where we're at. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put in no, change for the background. Let's have a selection for our background here. Let's go to our images, see what we get from out of here. We'll upload from our file over here, jump over to our computer over here, go find our instructions and jump over here. Where are we on here? Blow up screens, motorized projection screens, products. Where's the exotics at? We got it right here somewhere. Should have marked it with a 1, would have made it a lot easier for me to find it. Here we go. Here we go. Take it from here. We'll take all of these. Drop these in that folder right now. They're good. Load those up. Bam, bam, bam. We're gonna have for breakfast. Yeah, I'm glad the Lord allowed me to. Let's see. I had no idea it was even there the whole entire time. Didn't smell it, didn't see it, nothing. But it was there. A huge layer of black mold right there, and the whole section in that corner was damp, which is not a good idea, and which is not good at all. That's pretty bad if it develops. I did take some pictures of it. Did contact the landlord before I left out of there, and letting them know that it did find mold on the property. They need to have that looked at. Do not paint over that stuff. Don't bleach it. I'll tell you, the last thing you want to do is bleach it. Don't do that because you don't know how far back it's going. You could just be bleaching the outer surface of it all. You don't know how far back it goes. You gotta tear out that whole section to figure out the source of where it's coming from and where it started and how much it may be embedded in there to get that out of there. You have to do a bit of a gut job in there. So, yeah, don't play around with that. But some people at the end of the day, some of these landlords at the end of the day will take that and go in there with a little bleaching cleaner or get something off of Amazon and go, oh, we cleaned it. No, you can't do that. You're just seeing the head of it all. That's like if you got a snake and you cut the head of the snake off, there's still rest of the snake weaving out throughout we got to go through all that gut, tear all that out and figure out how much of it. There could be huge pockets of it up there somewhere. So just to be safe, just tear out that whole section, what you're going to have to do, and figure out exactly where the source is coming from. And the pipes didn't leak in that house. The roof didn't leak in that house. If you have mold popping up in your house, and you have no leaky pipes or no leaky roofs, that's a serious issue because it can be festating anywhere in that environment. And you're going to have to tear out a lot of freaking drywall, whatever, to find the source of where it's coming from and completely gut it out. That's what's going to happen. That's what happened at the place I moved into. They were there when I got a chance to go to the pretrial, did a Zoom pretrial. And I popped in on the Zoom pretrial, which for some reason I wasn't receiving any form of mail telling me they were having these pretrials. But anyway, I pop into the Zoom pretrial and I get a chance to talk to the attorney from the other side. I tell you, it's amazing how God works everything out. But I got a chance to talk to the attorney on the other side. And they said they were suing me. And I said, okay, you're suing me for what? They said, we're suing you because you put the mold in the property. Now, this is so interesting, and I love how the Lord works on things. But these these jokers at the end of the day never got the report. So before I left the property, I had an inspector go through the entire property, got air, water, all kinds of samples on that property before we left out of there, which I owe that to my ex because I wasn't going to do it. I didn't want to spend the money. I just wanted to leave. And she was like, no, you don't want to do that because it'd be your word against theirs. You want to make sure that you got paperwork to back it up. And thank goodness I listened. So they were going to come down. We reported it. They were going to come down. And of course, they were going to do like a little light patch up. That's all they were going to do, a little light patch up. Because if it was there already, then the chances are they were just doing light patches or that they went along and people were finding it when it was popping up. When the inspector went through that property and came upstairs, he said, break the lease and leave. Oh, I read the report. It is extremely bad. So basically, the house was infested with mold before we moved on the property. The thing about it was the house had no leaky pipes and no leaky roof, which means it was coming from somewhere, which means the house had a infestation in the house. And then usually when you do like a moisture reading in the house, which I was reading up on, doing some research on, when they bring those meters out, you're supposed to be, a normal house is like 30 to 40. That's a normal. Danger zone is 60. My 60%. My area where I was in the basement was 89, 99, and maxed at 100 is what I was coming up. That's what I was breathing in when I was down in the basement. And this is where I got all the damage from my lungs from. So the beautiful thing about it is the two attorneys that I hired, which I'm in the process of taking to court for some other things, but the two attorneys I hired never gave them the report because they didn't do a good job at the end of the day. They didn't do, and they did a horrible job at the end of the day. And they were lazy, which I'm glad they were, because it worked out as a blessing. They never gave the attorney for the insurance carrier the paperwork showing that the house was basically inspected by us. And they thought that I made up the idea and I just moved out of the house and I was never sick and this never happened. I made all this up. So we went to the pre-trial. I'm laughing because it was pretty hilarious what's going on. I went to the pre-trial. I asked for a certain sum of money, and they came back and said, nope, we're not going to pay it because you don't have any proof that this house was sick before you moved in. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go with this, right? So I said, okay. So we go back, we talk to the mediator or judge, and he says, okay, Mr. Bird, what do you want to do? You want to take it to court, or basically both parties can walk away from this and nobody owes nothing? I said, oh no, we're going to court. We're definitely going to court. Because when I was talking to the judge on the other end, he had separated us, and I was talking to the judge on the other end. I said, what's the lawsuit that they have against me? He said, oh, it says right here that you caused the mold on the property, and that's how you got sick. I said, that's it? That's all it is? Okay, let's go back in. We go back in the room. I made the decision. We're going to court. I talked to the attorney on the other side, and I said, I'll ask you a question. Did you ever get a report from any of my lawyers? And she said, no, I never received one. From my lawyers being idiots and not sending her the report, they had no idea that the house was inspected. And how I know the property wasn't inspected when we moved on, because when we found the mold, we got into an argument with them, and I said, who inspected the property before we moved in there? And they said, it's not our responsibility to do that. It's a responsibility of the owner. We just went back and forth, the finger pointing. So the property was never, ever inspected. They found it on there, and they've been covering it up for years. So when the inspector went in, looked at the property, the house was considered to be condemned. No one should have ever been living there to begin with. They were renting out a property that should have been condemned. So when I go to court, and I'm representing myself, because why in the world would I bring an attorney in there to begin with? I'm not giving them 40% of my freaking, no, he's not getting that. I can go and represent myself, talk to the judge. He said, Mr. Bird, all you have to do is show proof that that property was sick before you moved in there, and you won your case. That's it. You don't even need an attorney. You can represent yourself. So that's where I'll be at in December, in a courtroom, beating the daylights out of the insurance company, because they literally thought that I walked off this property and I made all this up, and all I have to do is show proof that the property was sick before I moved in, and it shows the property not only was it sick, but the property needed to be gutted. It says it in the report that the property and the procedure that needs to be done to make the property healthy again would require for the entire building to be gutted out. And there's no way in the world we could have ever stayed in that place while they were doing that kind of work at the end of the day. So, yeah. So, long story short, this is not, well, at the end of the day, what do you call it? Real estate agency. This is an investment group, a multi-million-dollar corporation. It got me sick in this house. And they got to pay me. So that's what happened. So that's why I'm so giddy as a schoolgirl. Because, man, I'm going to walk in there, and I'm going to basically submit my paperwork, and they are done. And that's why I tell you, at the end of the day, if you see something in a place that doesn't look right, something doesn't, get an inspector to go through. They're like $500. That's what I paid for mine. They're $500. Get an inspector to go through the property, so that way you have some documents showing it's not their word against yours. Because they'll come in there and they'll do some cleanup job, and they'll leave it that way, and you'll continue to get sick and may die in these properties. So that's why it's best to bring those inspectors in to look at that property. Because if I didn't get that inspector, I would have been done. There's no way in the world I would have been able to beat that court case, because I would have had no proof at all showing that the house was sick before I moved in there. So that's why you want to make sure get the place tested. From going through that situation and what I went through and how I got sick, I almost died a couple of times in that house because when I was getting sick and they were rushing me back and forth to the hospital. And I'm thinking it's stress. I'm thinking it's from the company. And I really thought that it wasn't coming from the house. Didn't believe it. The house was nice. It was beautiful and everything. I never think in a million years this was coming from the house. But it was. It was coming from the house. It was literally killing me. So that's why when I moved there at the other house, everything was nice, no problems at all. And I wasn't really sick, and I had no problems while I was there. But what I found later on the last days I was there, yeah, I had to go. I was nowhere in the world. Even they had brought the rent down to $1. There's no way in the world I would stay in that place after the nightmare what I went through the other house, which was a complete nightmare. And the only reason why I'm still here talking on camera and alive is because of God. Mind you, the moisture and the air quality in the house I was in was not, it was 89, 99, and 100. Dangerous levels are at 60, and I was way beyond that, and I was breathing all that in. I should have been dead. Literally should have been dead. Definitely should have been dead. So that tells you how good God is. And the beautiful thing about it is I'll collect that from them and I don't have to pay one dime to an attorney. That's how amazing God is. They base their entire lawsuit off of the house not being sick when I moved in there. They never got the report from the inspector because the attorney did such a horrible job. And all the time I'm thinking, why, Lord, are you going to let them get away with this? Doubting God when I shouldn't have been. And God was like, just wait. I got something for you. So now I'll walk into that courtroom. I will show hardcore evidence what these people did to me. I will win my case, and I pay the attorneys not jack. There you go. That's how amazing God is. There you go. There you go. Yep. So, yeah, readings on that. And I learned a little bit of things about mold by doing the research and stuff. But yeah, the readings on that supposed to be. Let me see what we got going on here. I didn't even know what those meters meant when they pulled them out. I know what they mean now. So, I'm going to show you something real quick. I like to show something real quick. So these are my tests from the building I was in, from the mold inspector. You're supposed to be at 0.30 to 0.40, and I'm coming in at that's my percentage, 82, which is too high. 82 is way too high. And this is the test that we're doing in the area. And this is the one that came up at 100 on the meter test. That no one should ever have been living in a house. Ever. Never should have been living in that house. Now when you're reaching 100, 89, and 99%. They found that in the washroom right over here. This is where they located it at. If you can see right there, there's a black mold right where the light is at. This is where it started to develop at. 99%. When I came upstairs, because I have a perfect rent record, and when I came upstairs, I was talking to the inspector, and I was like, hey, is there any way that they can come in and clean this up? And he was like, no, building's got to be gutted. So there you go. Building's got to be gutted. I don't know how people do stuff like that at the end of the day. I would never understand that, why people do this stuff. And I guess greed and money. It's greed at the end of the day. But the basement was furnished. It was, and that's where I did all my demonstrations for YouTube. The basement was a furnished basement. It was an already, furnished basement and all. What had happened is somebody had moved into the house that had kids and decided to turn the basement area, because that's where the source was coming from, turn the basement area into a playroom for their kids. Now be an adult, and like I said at the time, when that happened, I was constantly lifting weights, I was training, I don't smoke, I don't eat a lot of fast foods and all that stuff, I don't touch that stuff at all, period. And I was in good shape. So that's the reason, and with the Lord, number one, give all him the credit. With him being there, it's the reason why I survived that ordeal. But if that was a small child at the end of the day that was in that area, they might not have survived. They could have died. And yet, at the end of the day, they knew that stuff was in there, and they continued to go in and repaint those areas or do whatever they were doing. Because if they really had cleaned the house, we should have, the report should have never came up that high. What am I going to do here? I like this right here. But, I'm going to put this in there for the time. Let's just see what we get here for the background here. I'm going to have a little fun with this. I don't like this one too much because it's kind of clicking too much. I like this right here. Let's see what this one gets. I don't think they break it up in tiles. They're probably going to break it up in tiles. Hopefully they don't break it up in tiles. Ah, they did break it up in tiles. Ah, I don't want tiles. I want one big, large towel. All right, look, I'm not gonna kill any more time on here because I got to get over to the bank and I got to get some things taken care of. And I'm just gonna finish this. This is how I'm gonna do this site. I'm not gonna do it bit by bit because that one just took too much time, and I really don't have the time to do it. So I'm gonna finish a few chunks of it and give you guys a walkthrough. Or the site's gonna be live anyway. You can just walk through and see what we're doing over there. So that's basically about it. So let me get over here and get my things taken care of. Hey, Taco! Get my things taken care of and then get my customers all done and finished and everybody good to go. And thank you all for your time. Really appreciate the support. And of course, we thank our Lord and Savior for blessing us with amazing technology. Gotta go and God bless.